What is up, guys? I don't really have anything planned to say, so this is going to be kind of raw. Um, I remember a couple months ago, I turned 40, and I was like, man, I am going to lock in and get crap done. Needless to say, it didn't go as planned. I fell off, started drinking again, got inconsistent with my diet, inconsistent with going to the gym, and when I was in the gym, I got inconsistent with my consistency. And it's been really hard mentally to make that shift. But starting today, I'm going to challenge myself 90 days to greatness. That's what I'm going to call it. It's just something that I can stick to, where I'm going to show up to the gym every day. I'm going to give it the highest intensity my body will allow in the day, meaning that, every workout's not going to be the same. But I'm going to show up for myself every day. No alcohol. I'm going to stick to my diet. And we're going to see what kind of transformation I can make in 90 days. There's no guarantee this is going to work because I've failed at this multiple times. But the thing is, no matter how many times you fail, if you get back up and you keep trying, eventually it's going to stick. So, to you guys out there that are trying to get somewhere in life and trying to, make some progress, it's okay if you fall down. Just keep showing back up, and eventually it's going to stick. Today is leg day. Hopefully I feel good enough to do some squats, but I'm not 100% recovered like I should be because I've not been sticking to my plan. So let's just get in there, see what happens, and hopefully squats. If not, I'm not going to beat myself up for it. So I'll see you guys in there. All right, my friends, here we go. It is leg day. And as per usual, I'll start off leg day with some hamstring curls. I went pretty light on a couple sets. I did one heavy set. I don't think I'm ready to go all out like I was before, but we will get there. So I ended up doing 3 sets here with moderate intensity, and that's all I did for my hamstrings today, unless you count the little bit that gets recruited in the squats. Spoiler alert. But just slow and controlled here, squeezing at the bottom, going to the full stretch position. And then after that, we moved on to leg extensions. I did 3 sets here. I'd say moderate weight, maybe moderately heavy, because my quads are feeling pretty good. They always feel good. It's one of my strongest muscles, I think. But I ended up doing 3 sets here. And that was it for the beginning of my workout. And then we did actually do some squats, which I feel really good about, because today I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do squats because, I have not been sticking to my plan. I have not been feeling my best, but squats remain my favorite exercise. I don't think there's anything that tests you mentally and physically like squats, and I don't really think there's an argument to be had there. But I only did 2 sets. I pyramided up at some really lightweight. I didn't go too heavy, so even though I did do squats, I didn't challenge myself too much. I was just focusing on the form and actually performing the exercise. So after 2 sets right here, my legs were pretty toast, but I still needed to work out my calves. I usually don't record my calf raises, but I decided to today. I'm trying to make sure I record at least 1 set of every exercise, no matter how many people are in the gym, how many people are around, because it's important to me to be showing you guys what I'm doing in the gym. But I ended up doing 3 sets here, lightish, moderate weight. I have trouble going really heavy on the calf raises because it just feels like my form breaks down so much, even though it's on a machine. It feels like I'm forcing reps and stuff. And then I finished off my workout today with some abs. I'm back and forth. They always say if you have abs, you don't really need to work them out that much. But in the spirit of making sure I look my best when I get lean, I did throw in 3 sets of cable crunches. And that was it for the workout today, guys. All right, my friends, and there you have it. Leg day is complete, and it feels good to get back into the groove of things, recording my workouts. Today was an easy day because there wasn't really a whole lot of people in there. So, yeah. It gets a little tricky when there's a bunch of people around. You know, it kind of plays with you mentally if you're not used to just recording anyway. So that's something I'll have to work on, because I have to commit to, recording at least one set of every exercise I do. So that's the commitment I'm making to you guys. But overall, it felt pretty good today. I felt decently strong. Like, I didn't feel like I could lift as much as when I'm being consistent. But, I'm just glad I showed up for myself. I'm glad I went in there and I put forth my best effort today, because, your best effort's going to change every time you go in there. So, but the more consistent you can be, the more consistent your workouts will get, and the more progress you're going to make. But, yeah, I'm really committed to this 90 days of sticking to my diet, hitting the gym every day, and just, putting out a video every day. So we'll see where this takes us, and appreciate you guys being here. Usually I have something on my phone to talk about, but I was just going to kind of wing it today. Overall, I think when I did squats, I felt like I could have gone heavier, but at the same time, I'm not trying to rush back into, squatting 225, things of that nature. What is going on up here? Oh, stopping traffic so the fire truck can back in. The streets are kind of tight around here, so I could not back one of those in. I don't know about you guys. But, so goals over the next 90 days. I feel like, since I was, I would say right around 30, somewhere between 30 and 32, I have not gone more than 45 days without having a drink. And they say that stuff kind of stays in your system a little bit longer than they think. And when you drink alcohol, it causes a lot of inflammation in your body. And, this is going to cause some joint pains, and it messes with your recovery. So if you're trying to get really serious about your goals, going to the gym, getting in better shape, getting healthy, the number one thing you need to do is just cut out the alcohol. You need to let go of the excuses like, oh, I had a bad day, or, it helps me relax, this and that. I think, personally, it has a bigger impact on your life than any other thing that you're doing. So I hate to call you guys out. Of course, you can still keep drinking if that's your thing and that's what you want to do, but don't expect to become the best version of yourself if you're still drinking alcohol. So, that's a subject I'm going to keep touching on because it's a subject close to heart. It's something I've struggled with, but, we are making progress. I went, I think, almost 3 weeks without it when I turned 40, and then, I fell right back into the habit. But this time we're committed 90 days to greatness, and we're going to see how far we can take this thing. Right now I'm headed to the store. We're going to get some chicken, some potatoes, some eggs. Those are staples in my diet when I'm trying to lose weight. And at the end of this 90 days, I'm just excited to see what it look like, and I'm going to share the whole thing with you guys. So I appreciate you guys joining me for this video, even though I just kind of rambled on. Those of you who made it to the end, you're the real rock stars. But don't let that dreamer die. Don't let that dreamer die. Keep the grind alive. Never give up on yourself. And this is the big one. Don't let those hard days win. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.